Welcome back everyone to another update video. Now, just this morning we received a massive blog for a new PvP update called the PvP Arena. Now, for those who don't know, this is going to be the content that is replacing the Duel Arena and hopefully is going to replace it with something that is, one, healthier for the game and more engaging for the PvP community. So today we're going to be looking at what the new PvP Arena is and what rewards it's going to be offering, because it is offering a lot. If you do enjoy the recaps, I always appreciate a like on them. It helps with a ton, gets the information out there to other people who might not know. Anyway, let's get started. Alright, so finally we have some more information on what is to replace the Duel Arena. Now, the Duel Arena has been on its last lifeline for a while now. Last year they made some changes to the Duel Arena to reduce the amount of real-world trading and scamming that has gone on there. So they introduced a staking cap, but there are workarounds for that, and shady things are still happening there, but that was only ever a short-term measure. The Duel Arena is going to be replaced, and it's going to be replaced with the new PvP Arena, or the Emmers Arena. Now, the PvP Arena gives players an opportunity to fight each other in a controlled environment. Now, really importantly, the entire PvP Arena, the new content, will all take place on an alternative save game world, which means it's independent of your main game save, which means it doesn't matter how progressed your account is. You won't have to meticulously create specific builds or anything like that. At least for the PvP Arena, you'll be assigned stats, and it will be on a separate isolated game state. Now, there are actually quite a few benefits to this system. For example, you're able to register for a fight, and while it searches for you, you can continue on playing your main account. You don't have to wait at the PvP Arena. You can continue on with any other activities while it searches for a match. Now, the way this is going to work is actually through the grouping side panel. With this update, they would add in a new button called PvP Arena, and this would actually open a specific side panel for the arena. So from here, you're able to register yourself for either a 1v1 tournament or a simple 1v1 battle, and you're able to do this through a matchmaking system, or you can specifically select someone you want to fight. So if you want to fight your friend or a worthy opponent, you can choose that as well. So once you have started a matchmaking search, like I said, you can just continue on doing whatever you want until the match is ready. Now, once you've found a match, you'll be prompted to swap to the alternative world, which again will be an alternative save state, and you'll have a bit of time to get out of combat or finish up what you're doing in the main game and then hop over there to participate in your fight. Now, once you've hopped over to this alternative world, you're going to have a new character profile with the following stats: 50 attack, strength, magic, and ranged, 99 prayer, 99 agility, and 99 hit points. So these are just your base stats, but from there you're able to choose a primary combat style, and each style will give you improved stats in your selected combat triangle. So for your primary combat style, you can choose either melee, ranged, or mage, which will give you higher stats in your selected combat style. From there, you're going to select a secondary style. From there, you'll get a boosted secondary combat style, but to a lesser extent. Now, one other really interesting thing they're going to be trying with the PvP Arena is a ranked system. So Jagex is going to attempt to have a matchmaking system that will matchmake you against players of a similar skill level. Now, the way this is going to work is after every fight that you win, you're going to be given some rank points as well as reward points. So rank points are going to be used to determine your rank. When you're looking for a fight, the PvP Arena system will try to match you with another player with a similar rank. The more points you have, the higher your rank is. Now, what's a bit unclear is whether or not you would ever lose rank points for losing a fight, for example. They only specify that you gain them when you win, which I think would be a less effective system, because instead of this being a system to accurately measure your current rank, it would then kind of boil down to just a measurement of who has actually done the most PvP Arena battles, which would work to a certain degree, but just because you've participated in a lot of PvP doesn't mean you're necessarily good. Either way though, this will still be an improvement to no matchmaking essentially. And now the reward points are going to be used to purchase unique items from the PvP Arena reward store, which there is a lot we're going to go over in a minute here. But looking a little bit more in depth at the matchmaking options, it looks like there's three main categories. Now, first up here, there's a 1v1 tournament. And if you select this option, it will try to slot you into a tournament of up to 64 players. But it can go as low as 4 players, which means that would be a, well, pretty small tournament. Tournaments are going to offer a way to participate in a series of 1v1 fights. So once the system has found enough people to participate in a tournament, it will split you into a bracket. So for example, for a 16-person tournament, it'll start with 8 1v1 battles. All of the winners of those will go on to the round of 8, where there will be 4 separate 1v1s, and then it'll go into the round of 4, where there'll be 2 separate 1v1s, or the semifinals, and then finally there will be a finale. Now within it, you're going to receive rank and reward points based on how far you've made it, and I'm assuming that will be scaled based on how big the tournament was. Now on top of that, there's also going to be a ranked 1v1 system. These are simply going to be one-off battles, where the system will try to use your rank to find an opponent of a similar skill. You will receive reward and rank points for these type of duels, and finally there is an unranked 1v1 section, which is just for fun, free for all, you're not going to get anything for it. So the new rewards that they're pitching here are specifically focused on PvP, which means none of these items can be used against PvM monsters. You have to use them to attack another player. The only exception to this are cosmetic items. If any of the non-cosmetic items are equipped, you will simply be unable to attack anything other than a player. So be mindful with that if you accidentally have that equipped and you are trying to kill King Black Dragon or something. Now some of these rewards are going to be tradable while others aren't, and this is to help disincentivize player boosting and bots and other illegitimate players. So as you start building up reward points from either participating in ranked 1v1s or tournaments, you're able to access a reward shop. Now the first type of thing you can buy here are ornament kits. Now these are going to be a small number of reward points, and they're going to be offering ornament kits for Dragon Claws, Dragon Warhammers, Heavy Ballistas, Armadil Armor, so for the helmet, chestplate, and chain skirt, and for Bandos Armor, the chestplate, tassets, and boots. Now next up here we have new Blighted Sacks for wave spells and surge spells. So these will probably boil down to being a more cost-effective way to get access to these spells that you'll be able to use within the wilderness. Now next up here we have Imbue Scrolls. Now these aren't new items or a new ability, but they're expanding the ways that you're able to actually get these Nightmare Zone imbues to other content. Now recently they added that to Soul Wars, however they also want to add it to the PvP arena. These will be offered for a low price from the PvP arena shop, and they will allow you to imbue the majority of items, such as a Black Mask, any of the Dagonoth rings, Salve amulets, Slayer helmets, pretty much all of it. Now it seems unlikely that this would be easier than Nightmare Zone, but for those who are doing a lot of PvP, this is a way to help progress your main account as well. Alright, so next up here we have what I would consider the big ticket rewards from the arena. Now this whole section has a lot of similarities to it, explain why in a minute. Now first up here we have the wristband of the arena. What are these? Well, they are essentially Barrow's gloves. They're going to be untradeable, and you can only purchase them by completing battles, earning reward points, and buying them through the PvP arena. Now they have pretty much the exact same stats as Barrow's gloves, and they even actually have higher accuracy, which means they're actually objectively a bit better. Now normally Barrow's gloves essentially have a requirement of 41 defense to wear, but the wristbands of the arena actually only require 30 defense, as well as not requiring you to complete any of the quests for Barrow's gloves. Keeping in mind though that you can only use these to attack other players or use it in PvP combat. So that essentially is a replacement for Barrow's gloves. Next up here we have the Centurion Cuirass, which is in a similar vein a replacement for the Fighter Torso. So this is once again going to be untradeable and will have very similar stats to the Fighter Torso, but with a bit higher defensive stats. So you won't have to do Barbarian Assault to get a Fighter Torso if you're using it for PvP. So another way to save some time. So next up here we have the Calamity Chest and Breeches, which are going to be a similar alternative to Void Armor. So similar to Void, you need the full set with 3 interchangeable helmets, and each helmet will activate a different set effect. And it even comes with 3 separate tiers, allowing you to go in different combat brackets. So there's going to be some that have no requirements, one that has 55 defense as a requirement, and one that has 78 defense as a higher requirement. Now to go along with the Void-like armor, there are 3 separate types of headgear. We have Moama's headgear, which is the melee alternative, which is going to give you increased melee accuracy and damage. We have Korif's headgear, which is going to give you increased range damage and accuracy. And then we finally have Saika's headgear, which is going to give you increased magic accuracy and damage. So that is it for the main PvP equipment offerings, but there are a few other smaller reward ideas as well. Some of the other ideas are something called the Amulet of Souls. Now, this would be an amulet that you could create with an Amulet of Fury, an Onyx, and an Amulet of Soul scroll. You would charge this with Soul and Death runes, and if you would take lethal damage, you'll actually recover to 5 hit points, curing any poison and venom in the process. That said, this would have a 15-minute cooldown. Not really sure what they're getting at with this one, although I'm not super integrated in the PvP community. That seems kind of annoying though. Next up here we have something called a Thaw Potion. Now this is actually pretty interesting. A Thaw Potion would grant you 10 seconds of binding spell immunity. That said, that does not work if you've already been frozen, so you have to use it preemptively, which will require a fair bit of skill, and you'd be able to use this every 2 minutes. Now, to make a Thaw Potion, you have to use the new Flame Rose Herblore ingredient that would be purchasable from the PvP Arena shop, so it wouldn't be normally accessible outside of PvP, although I'm assuming that you can buy it and it would be tradable. And the final thing they're looking at here is a new one-click teleport that could be used up to 30 wilderness that is more accessible for PvP builds. So that's all. There is a ton of new equipment here and new items. Really curious to see what you guys think about it, because as someone who doesn't PvP that much, I might not interpret this the same way, but overall I think having a ladder system, automatic tournament creation, and some of the new equipment sounds pretty good. And I think offering equipment that's only usable in PvP an incentive enough for people to try to get it, but might not be actually as desirable to farm for illegitimate accounts because it might just be a waste of time. Anyway, let me know what you guys think as always. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Now, before I go here, I want to give a giant thank you to all of my members over on YouTube. Thank you so much to The Hybrid, Alejandra, Sejuani's Flail, and Kush Patel for all being subscribed to the Dragon tier. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much. Also, a big thank you to Cadell Studio Gaming, Locustiz, Mexose, Basstich, NDM001, and yoyosup89 for also being subscribed at the Evernight tier. Appreciate it a lot. As always, if you're looking for another way to support the channel, becoming a YouTube member is an awesome way to do so. You will become immortalized in all of my future videos, get a custom role in my Discord server, and access to my video release schedule. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.